order Wednesday, August 21st at 7:34 p.m.
Councilwoman Selby,
Present?
Councilman Karakini,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin,
Present.
Councilwoman Selby, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do not have any other preliminary items tonight, but we do have a public hearing, and since it is 7:35, it was scheduled for them, so grab that document. And the public hearing reads as follows. Notice is hereby given that the Boston Town Board, Erie County, New York, will hold a public hearing for the proposed fire protection contracts between the three Boston fire companies and the town of Boston. This public hearing will be held at the Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on Wednesday, August 21st, 2024, at 7:35 p.m. North Boston Volunteer Fire Company will be paid an amount of $226,160 for the 2025 calendar year and $237,468 for the 2026 calendar year for furnishing fire protection in their district. Patchen Volunteer Fire Company will be paid $226,160 for the 2025 calendar year and $237,468 for the 2026 calendar year for furnishing fire protection. Boston Volunteer Fire Company Incorporated will be paid $226,160 for 2025 and $237,468 for the 2026 calendar year for furnishing fire protection. All persons interested in the matter shall be heard either for or against at such time and place. This was dated on July 17th, 2024, published July 25th, 2024, by the order of the Town Board, Sandra L. Quinlan, Town Clerk, and we are an equal opportunity employer. The public hearing is open. Anyone who would like to come up to the microphone and speak either for or against, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and the floor is open. Okay.
Sir? Is this regarding the fire or just the?
This is just for the fire.
Just for the fire.
That's okay. Okay, seeing no one approaching the microphone, I would say there is no comment. I will close the public hearing. All right. So moving right along tonight in our business. Item number one, under our regular business, is a correction and adoption of minutes from our July 17th, 2024 town board meeting. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Supervisor. I had a moment to review the meeting minutes from July 17th, 2024, and I make a motion to approve them as published.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number two is the consideration of all of our fund bills. Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, thank you. On abstract number one, 2024 payables, journal number AP-4591, I make a motion that we approve the total payables due for $536,717.50.
If I can just make an amendment to that, so there's actually two abstracts. That's okay, there's a second abstract.
sorry.
Yep. Go
The
ahead.
abstract number two for solar escrow, journal number AP-4592. Put together was the total of $536,717.50. Thank you.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number three is our correspondence. We have 16 items of correspondence, 20 items of correspondence, and they're all on file in the town clerk's office, part of the board packet that's online, and they are as follows. Item one is the town clerk's report for July 2024. Item two is the dog control officer report for July of 2024. Item 3 is the Erie County Water Authority notice of claim for hydrant replacements. There were 3 separate letters for those hydrants. Item 4 is the NYSERDA grant approval notification for EV charging station for the town of Boston. Item number 5 is the Erie County CD Consortium eligible census tract block groups 2020 census update. I just want to make a mention on town record that unfortunately the town's median household income has increased to a point. The eligible census tract was down on Meadow Drive, and that's where, if you've been down to the North Boston Park, and there's a new pavilion that was funded by community development block grant funds. Unfortunately, the median household income has risen too high. That is no longer an eligible area, so the only last place, sadly, that is eligible for this grant funding would be our community center, which is also used for our senior services programming. So kind of unfortunate there, but hopefully the federal government will raise those income guidelines, and hopefully we'll be able to do an income study at some point and identify different areas in our community. Item 6 is an application for use of meeting facility, from the Erie County Board of Elections. Item number 7 is the Patchen Fire Company 2025 budget, which is required as per the contract. Item 8 is a letter of resignation, sadly, from our resident Tony Rosati for the Zoning Board of Appeals, and also the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. Item number 9 is the NYSEG and RG&E upgrading 45,000 electrical poles across New York State. That was dated on August 1st, 2024. Item number 10 is the NYSEG and RG&E improved restoration time accuracy report from August 5th of 2024. NYSEG has another piece of correspondence. Item 11, an RG&E preparing for remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie that came through the area. That was dated on August 8th. Item number 12 is the Downtown Revitalization Initiative and the New York Forward are now open to applications. Notification to the town. Item 13 is the Erie County Forest Management Plan update. Item number 14 is a letter from the Code Enforcement Officer Murphy regarding Kevin Monaco at 7040 South Abbott Road, which is pertaining to a fill permit application. Item 15 is the 2022 financial statements and auditor comments. Item 23 is the revised annual financial report and auditor comments. Item number 17 are the income statements for June and July of 2024. Item number 18 are cash balances for June and July of 2024 for the town. Under item number 19 is the 2023 Boston EMS annual LoSAP report, and LoSAP is the length of service award point program. Item number 20 is the compliance revised plan document. Compliance is our workers' comp care. Again, all those items are on file in the town clerk's office and part of the board packet. So moving along to new business, the first item of business is the request from the floor. If anybody would like to come up to the microphone, please state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes each. The floor is open.
Good evening. My name is Alan Green, and I reside at 5925 Woodley Court. We're here requesting that the town of Boston provide a thorough account and explanation of its actions, behavior, misconduct, usage of town resources, taxpayers' money, and its written narrative titled 5925 Woodley Green versus 5931 Woodley Step. The correct title should be the town of Boston and 5931 Woodley Court Stephen versus 5925 Woodley Court Green. The following incidents need clarification. Tree inspections, lighting inspections, and the planning board's jurisdiction, involvement, and expertise. Leaf inspections, rainwater inspections, lawn tractor inspections, leaf blower inspections. These inspections have prompted us out of concern for our safety and security to install security cameras due to the town of Boston's frequent activities day and night at our property. If you're not aware of these inspections, we're willing to provide more information and details. Specific incidents. On March 9th, the town of Boston inspected a tree on our property at the request of our neighbor at 5931 Woodley Court and advised them to have us remove it immediately. We had 3 different arborists evaluate the tree, and they confirmed it's healthy. Additionally, we have a letter supporting this assessment. On April 20th, 2022 at 9:12, the town of Boston took pictures and video of our property at night from the neighbor's property at 5931 Woodley Court, causing our dogs to bark and waking us up. On June 21st, 2022, the town of Boston sent us a letter at the request of the Stephens at 5931 Woodley, claiming that lighting over our automobile use area, which had been in place for over 2 years, violated Town of Boston Code 123-120A and demanded corrections by July 15, 2022. We complied within the 3-week time frame allowed. After the town told us to lawyer up, we hired the former town attorney who wrote this code, and he confirmed it did not apply to us. On July 28, 2022, following a rainwater inspection, the Town of Boston told us to move. On September 27, 2023, the Town of Boston drafted a written narrative against 5925 Woodley Court. On October 25, 2023, at 6:55 p.m., while I was doing yard work, I came around the corner at the front of our property and noticed a truck parked in front of the driveway with its lights on and window down. I went over to the truck, noticed Town of Boston Code Enforcement sign on the side. I walked up. It was Tom Murphy, Code Enforcement Officer for the Town of Boston. He asked me to turn off my headlamp, shut it off, I said, "Hi, Tom. What brings you out this late? How can I help you?" Tom said, "Having fun." I said, "No, did you come out here to help?" He said, "No, I have a big yard too." I said, "Why aren't you at home working on your yard? What business do you have out here this evening?" Tom said he was just passing through. He had dropped something off down the street on the way here. I told Tom I know why he was here. I pointed next door and said he sent you out here to harass us again. 7 o'clock, after the conversation, it became clear that his presence and business at our property was unnecessary, unsettling, leading me to call 911 to press charges against him. We showed him the security footage to the Deputy Keene. The deputy asked if we had spoken to the town supervisor, which we did for over 3 hours on May 15, 2023, and we thought things would get better, but instead things only got worse. The deputy asked if we had spoken to the code enforcement officer, which we did on May 15, 2023, and on that day, Thomas Murphy jumped up from his desk and started yelling at us and making false accusations against us and said to talk to his boss, the town supervisor. Officer Keene said he was going to stop at town hall the next day and talk to the supervisor and code enforcement. The next day, the deputy did speak with the supervisor, who claimed to know nothing about our situation. The deputy spoke to the code enforcement officer, who said I ran after him out into the street. Deputy Keene said he saw the video evidence, and that is not what happened. Deputy asked Thomas Murphy why he was out so late. His business at our property in the evening. Thomas Murphy said, "Our leaf blower is too loud, and he is going to purchase equipment to measure the decibels." Deputy asked how many other residents he goes to their homes for leaf blower lighting, rainwater, leaves, etc., which he did not have an answer. Deputy told Thomas Murphy no laws were being violated on our part, and we have the right to maintain our property without harassment from the town. Our questions and concerns. Why has the town of Boston allowed our neighbor to excavate a 4-foot deep area along the property line to build a 50-foot long dam using 3 cement trucks, intentionally impounding the natural flow of rainwater coming down the hill from properties above us? Erect a 6-foot fence on top of the 3-foot high Jersey barrier dam. Build a 15-foot long dam to intentionally divert their rainwater onto our property. Regrade their property higher by several feet, intentionally diverting their rainwater again onto our property. Construct a fence exceeding 6 feet in height and back. Operating a landscaping business on residential property, transporting, selling, and storing and stockpiling tons of materials, debris, and waste from jobs. Despite our numerous unanswered calls and messages, the town has not addressed any of these issues, which brings us here today. When we visited Town Hall on May 15th, we were informed that the town was aware of these activities and that no permits, safety measures, or variances were required, as it supposedly meets town code. and that the town wishes the fence was 20 feet higher, suggesting this was the town's idea. The town advised us to lawyer up, which we did. However, the town provided only about 30% of the information requested through FOIL, far exceeding the allowable response time, with our attorney having to follow up continually. The town has not substantiated the false accusations against us or justified its actions, confirming this is targeted harassment against us. We even have pictures of the town code enforcement officer standing by these violations while taking pictures of our property. The town has permitted our neighbor to bypass town code, which has led us to decreasing in our property value and diminishing the aesthetics of our property. The town applies a double standard in how it enforces its code on us compared to our neighbor. There is a double standard in how the town treats us, and we are required to comply with town code compared to our neighbor. We would like to file complaints against the town for misconduct, harassment, discrimination, selective enforcement, and abuse of tax dollars. We also request a comprehensive response and resolution to these issues. Thank you.
No comment? The open floor has been closed. Item number 2 is our public hearing for the fire company contracts. That was done at 7:35, so we'll move along to item number 3, to schedule another public hearing for a special use permit at the accessory apartment, for an accessory apartment located at 7428 Eddy Road. I'd like to make a motion to schedule this public hearing for special use permit located at 7428 Eddy Road on September 18th, 2024. And Madam Clerk, is that acceptable? Is that date okay with you?
Yes, it is. And what time would that be, sir?
7:35 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion is on the table.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 4 is to an approval for a new member to the North Boston Volunteer Fire Company. And that individual is William Joel Martinez Perez. And Councilman Karakini, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I was making some notes, let me catch up. I'd like to make a motion to accept the application from the North Boston Fire Company to admit William Joel Martinez into active duty. He has passed his arson background and sex offender background checks and is clear of that. We have all the documentation we need. The motion is on the floor.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 5 is the code enforcement officer request for annual training attendance at the Western Southern Tier Building Officials Educational Conference. And Councilwoman Sully, would you like to take that item?
At this time, I'm not willing to put that motion on the table.
Okay. Do we want to make a motion to deny?
I would make that motion to deny.
Okay.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 6 is Resolution 2024-50, adopting a revised schedule of fees. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item?
Certainly, Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt a new revised schedule of fees with resolution number 2024-50. They are attached to the resolution and shall supersede the existing schedule of fees to the extent that it expressly alters the same fees. So I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Salvi,
Yes.
Councilman Carnakini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes, and the main changes were for the signage, attached and detached, A-frame, portable, reface, and electronic and digital. Yes.
Okay, Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 7 is Resolution 2024-51, authorizing contracts for fire protection services. And Councilman Carnegie, would you like to take that item?
Thank you Supervisor Keating. It's my pleasure to introduce resolution number 2024-51, which authorizes the contracts for the fire protection services for the town of Boston. A great deal of work goes into that process, and following no commentary for or against this evening, I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Carnakini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 8 is Resolution 2024-52, which is a replacement of emergency generators at the Rice Hill and Bull Heater water tanks. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, thank you. Resolution 2024-52 states that the existing propane units are undersized to handle the more recently added tank circulating systems required by the Department of Health. We were alerted on August 6th that the existing emergency generators at the Rice Hill Water Tank in Water District 2 and the Wool Heater Water Tank in Water District 3 are in need of replacement due to the aging and difficulty to repair, and this came from the Erie County Water Authority. So we are responding with Erie County Water provided an estimate in the amount of $108,108 for the upgrade of both the 10 kW propane generators to 16 kW diesel generators to improve reliability and capacity. I make a motion that we approve this resolution.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Carnakini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 9 is Resolution 2024-53 to award a bid for water main replacement Phase 1. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-53, whereas the low bid for the project was 716 Site Contracting in the amount of $2,415,741, which I'm happy to report is under the budget. So we are very happy and fortunate to award this bid for the water main replacement Phase 1.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Carnakini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 10 is another resolution, 2024-54, approving a change order for the town hall generator project. And I take this item tonight. If anybody's happened to see some of the construction around town hall, we're working on getting a generator. The IPL, which is the contractor, their bid amount of $222,400 came in, and when they were doing some work around the side of the building, a lot of the details are in the board packet, but without getting into all the meat and potatoes here, we need to do a change order, because on the far side of the building behind us here, the utility lines were deeper, nobody had the x-ray vision to see that. So anyway, there's a change order request, and that amount is $34,364.93. So I'd like to make a motion to approve that change order for Resolution 2024-55.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Carnakini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving into old business tonight. The first two items of old business are for fill permits from Matt Kolacek. I always meant this with Matt Kolo. Thank you, Kelly. And this one parcel is located at 7008 on Elias Road. The other one is located at 7631 Zimmerman Road. Mr. Kolo has retained legal counsel. We work with our town council. We're still waiting some soil boring reports to come back to the town before we handle those. So just for the record, I would like to make a motion to table both of those applications until those reports are received.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Zalbe,
Yes.
Councilman Carterini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And item 3 is another fill permit from Kevin Monaco, located 7040 South Everett Road. And Councilman Carnegie, I'll take that up.
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I wish we had this information at the last meeting. We could have clarified this and resolved it. The reason Kevin Monaco applied for a building permit was it was part of a condition placed on bringing in fill from the state. It requires that material to be capped. And we most likely would have, been able to clarify for the resident this last time, or at the last meeting. But I'd like to make a motion to approve this as it's a condition of his project in 2022. That was part of New York State Code.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Zalbe,
Yes.
Councilman Carterini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the last item of business is reports and presentations.
Actually, one more clarifying point on that. We did have a meeting with Kevin Monaco, who attended the agenda review, and there's no building that's going to be placed on that property. There's no plans for another building. It's simply capping the fill that was brought in from a New York State site. It was a requirement that the code enforcement officer had placed as a condition. It was just to satisfy that condition. I wanted to make sure that got on the record in case the family that came to the public hearing last month could hear that. Certainly, we're all available to discuss it. That's all.
Thank you. And Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. First, I'd like to report that brush pickup for September starts September 1st. We'll do every road in town one time in September, then once again in October. Please get your brush out by September 1st. Hard to say how far you get around, depends how much brush is out, so can't really tell you what road we're gonna do on what day, so just if you get it out by September 1st, you're sure to get it picked up in September. Other than that, Erie County, the salt bid prices was a little lower this year. It's a little less than $1 a ton less than last year, which is a good thing. The last few weeks, down in the South Boston Park, there was a couple big dead ash trees. The highway workers went down, cut them down, chipped them up, got rid of that. Down in the North Boston Park, we went down there and did some drainage work. And other than that, I'd like to thank all the fire companies for coming for the fire this morning at my dad's farm. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Zalbe, you have the floor.
I just want to express the excitement that we have that Water Project 1 Phase 1 is moving ahead below budget, as we know how urgently we need this project done by evidence of the fire that we experienced early this morning. And I just want to thank our volunteer fire departments and surrounding area fire companies for responding to the TLAC farm. It really hit close to home tonight and today, so we're all with you, Bob. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Carnegie, you have the floor.
Well, I'd like to echo the sentiment from Kathy. It's, everybody that knows me knows how I feel about the volunteer fire companies in this town. They do incredible work. It was great to see a lot of mutual aid. I saw a very large water tank truck from East Concord, so thank you for all the mutual aid, and certainly thank you to all of our local departments. Certainly, we're all here for the TLAC family if they need something. With that in mind, I'd like to welcome William Joel Martinez to begin service with the North Boston Fire Company. It's quite an undertaking, and it's great to see some young people getting involved. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Tony Rosati, who through unfortunate circumstances is moving out of town. He's been a pleasure to work with on the ZBA as well as on the comprehensive committee. Just a great person, and we're certainly going to miss him, and know that we're a neighboring town, so don't be a stranger. But thanks for your service to the town. That's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I did want to say that the comprehensive plan is moving forward, and I'm happy to say that we now have the third public meeting being scheduled for September 23rd at 6 p.m. Public meeting means we want the public to come in, see what they've done. The comprehensive plan steering committee they've done a great job of including everybody as much as possible, so the more people we get, the more input we get, and the better the plan will be for our town. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you much. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
I'd like to also echo Mike and Kathy's sentiment to the TLEX. Lucky that we have our fire companies, and they deserve our support as well as the family. I heard about the fire and didn't even realize it was you, Bob, sorry. Secondly, we're coming into budget season and we're gonna have our public meetings. If everybody, could show up for that and put their 2 cents in as to how we can tackle everything going up in price, it would be appreciated. So keep your eyes on our website and please participate when we have those meetings. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. The last blood drive that we had in the community room sponsored by Connect Life was Tuesday, August 6th. The results for that, actually I don't have the units that were collected, but it looks like there was 87 lives that were impacted by that blood drive. The next blood drive is Tuesday, September 2nd from 2 to 7 in the community room. I know Councilwoman Martin will speak more on the LEAF event at the next board meeting, but just to put it out there to let everybody know, the CAC LEAF event will be Saturday, 9/14. So, put on your calendar. It's certainly an event worth coming out for. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on that Saturday. Also on that Saturday is the Erie County is sponsoring a free rabies vaccination clinic for dogs, dogs, indoor and outdoor cats, and ferrets. Saturday, September 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is at the Erie County Emergency and Training Operations Center on Broadway near Union and Cheektowaga. And the next one after that is Saturday, September 21st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Nice and close to home at Erie Community College South Campus. That is 4041 Southwestern Boulevard, Building 7 in Orchard Park. Please take advantage of this program. This is a free vaccination clinic that Erie County offers. Everyone's dogs do need to be licensed if they reside in the town of Boston, so certainly if that is what is holding you up from licensing your dog, please get the vaccination at one of these free clinics. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll send my sentiments as well about to you and your family. I saw some of the pictures, and again, our first responders, I think they did a great job, as well as surrounding communities. But yeah, on those pictures, just unfathomable. So hope everything goes smoothly with restoration efforts, if that's the choice that the family decides to go. Councilwoman Martin stated, budget season. That's basically what the bookkeeper, myself, have been getting ready for is our upcoming budget season. We've had some preliminary conversations with our benefits coordinator. Health insurance is going up, like everything else that we're all experiencing in our personal lives. It certainly affects us here at the town level, so we'll see how that goes. I did want to, if anybody has not seen the information out on social media, there was damage done in the brand new North Boston Pavilion in the North Boston Park. Somebody here in the community decided to make, thought it was funny to put some bottle rockets in our brand new bathroom facilities and blow out the bottoms of our toilets in both of the bathrooms. And so we worked with law enforcement. We're trying to get additional patrols down there. If anybody has any information, please let us know. We were kind of pumping the brakes. We talked about putting cameras down there, but sadly we're at a point where in today's world it seems like we need to put cameras down there to start tracking these things, because without evidence we don't know really where to start. We're at square one. So there'll probably be a resolution on one of these future board meetings for some cameras down there to start tracking these things, because it wasn't that long just before, so we decided to do donuts on the soccer fields down there. It's sad, and these are our parks. This is something that we all should be able to enjoy in the community, and that's what happened. So if anybody has any information, please feel free to reach out to your county sheriff's office or the state police. They're both well aware of the incident. There was a water main break, sadly, and it wasn't directly related to the fire, but we all know, I think, attended any of the board meetings or watched them online. Our water infrastructure is aging. It's 30 plus years old in some areas. So Heinrich Road, which is sadly notorious for breaks. That's actually part of the resolution that was passed tonight, to do the bid award. But so next season, we will see quite a bit of construction going on in the north end of town for water line projects. Phase 2 will probably be, depending on how the bidding process goes, we might get that done around the winter time, early spring, but keep that ball rolling while we continue to look for grant opportunities such as we and others. But we did have a water main break, so anybody experienced low water pressure, that was because the tanks were drained that pressurized the water system throughout the community. So just for anybody that's wondering why they had low water pressure in the north end of town this morning, that's why, because the water tanks, as they go low, they're the pieces of equipment that pressurize everything. That's one of the reasons, but then subsequently, Heinrich had a, from what I heard, about a 6.5, 7 foot long lateral crack on one of the water lines down there. So we're working to get that all replaced, so hopefully we stop talking about these problems. Next item, we do have our town historian here in the audience, but I would certainly like to thank our town historian and our highway superintendent and the highway crew. They just put in the pole for a brand new historical marker right across the street. So there'll be a new sign over there. Our town historians have been doing a lot of work trying to update the landmark areas throughout our community with new markers. So that's another thing that happened recently. And that's all I have for tonight. One other thing is for the public workshop, Councilwoman Lukacek did bring this up. There's a flyer out on the table. I have a copy of it here just to remind myself. But we are just about at the end of the comprehensive plan. I do see some new faces in the audience tonight. If you're not familiar with what a comprehensive plan is, think of it almost kind of like the vision of the town for the next 8 to 10 years ballpark. The last time that it was done was in the early 2000s, but this is to basically kind of showcase what the Comprehensive Plan Committee has done, and Tony Rosati was instrumental in that. Sadly, he had to go take care of some families, that's why he had to step back. But we're almost at the end of this, so please come out and give us your feedback. There's mission statements in there, but actually by public request and kind of opinion. There are actually some traffic circles that are suggested in this plan on Boston State Road to use as traffic calming devices, because one of the complaints that some people brought in front, and to kind of show that the town board is listening, is we need traffic control devices to slow people down on Boston State Road so they're not doing 55, 60 miles an hour. So you'll see some of those suggestions and recommendations there. We also met with the schools. So please come out. Again, it's Monday, September 23rd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll be downstairs in the community room. We value your input and feedback on it. And that is all I have for tonight. So I will make a motion to end the meeting at 8:11.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Tarantini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.